And we're back. I wanted to give a quick rundown of the Oscar nominations and kind of my reaction to these nominations. Now, I'll post each of the categories above. I'm not going to go through each single one on the list. I'm just going to kind of point out which ones I think have a chance, which ones I actually want to win, but which ones I think will actually win, which can be two very different things. Again, as always, please subscribe to my page below. Like, comment, give me some ideas. Tell me what you think about who's going to win, who's not going to win. All right, starting out, Best Picture. This is the big one that's going to be of the night. If I'm picking my favorites, obviously, you guys know, you've watched my reviews. My only 10 out of 10 I've given last year up until now has been Wicked. So I would have to give it to Wicked. For me, I think Emilia Perez is very big in the running. And I would say for a lot of these awards I'm going to talk about, Brutalist, I think, had a big chance, but there's like crazy backlash with the AI thing, with the director changing the voice. I don't know if that's going to really impede it getting any awards. I'm not really sure. We'll see. I know it was a front runner for a lot of these awards, but now that it's getting this kind of negative publicity, I don't know how that's going to do. I actually would have said The Brutalist had a pretty good chance of getting a lot of these awards, especially nomination for Best Picture, but we'll see. For me, I would give it to Wicked or Emilia Perez, honestly. We'll see what happens for Best Picture. Now, for directing, Jon M. Chu was snubbed. I don't care what anybody says. For Wicked, I'm actually very surprised he didn't get a nomination. But if I have it to give it to someone who's not Jon M. Chu, I'd probably, again, surprise this backlash with The Brutalist. I would give it to the director for The Brutalist. But if not, Emilia Perez, director. I am in no way French, and I can't pronounce French names. I'm going to say it's Jacques Audiard. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Tell me how to pronounce it for my French followers, please. I would say I would give it to one of them. Actor in a leading role, this is another one that's going to be tough for me. There's two standouts for me. Ralph Fiennes for Conclave. Obviously, I did a review on that movie. Loved that movie. Loved Ralph's performance in that movie. I think he did an excellent job. Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. I think he did a really good job. I think he had an incredible supporting cast. So I think that really made that movie more magical and not just his performance overall. So if I had to give it to someone, I'm going to say Ralph Fiennes for Conclave. I really actually hope he gets the award. So that's going to be my prediction. Actress in a leading role, this is when it starts getting really juicy and interesting because these are some of my favorites. Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, obviously, is my front runner. I'm very biased. We all know I'm very biased. I love Wicked. It's my only 10 out of 10. But Carla Sofia Gascon for Emilia Perez. You know, if you go back to my movie review for Emilia Perez, I predicted that you would see Carla Sofia Gascon and Zoe Saldana walking across a lot of stages for awards this season. You know, Zoe Saldana obviously already got the Golden Globe for Best Supporting, and she's nominated again for Best Supporting at the Oscars. I would say this particular one may be Carla Sofia Gascon's to win. She didn't get the Golden Globe. She's going up against Cynthia Erivo again. I do believe in terms of Wicked, you know, For Good, that comes out this November. Elphaba really soars in the second half of the Broadway musical, and I think that's really going to be Cynthia Erivo's moment as award season next year. I don't think she's going to win it. She deserves it. I just don't think she's going to get it this season. I do believe she'll get the Oscar next season, 100%. So I'm thinking it's going to be more meaningful if Carla Sofia Gascon gets that award. She deserved it. It was a great role. So I'm going to give it to her. I see Demi Moore is also nominated. She got the Golden Globe. I love Demi Moore. I do. I don't think she deserved the Golden Globe. I don't think she deserves the nomination for the Oscar, honestly. The Substance was a weird, cool, freaky movie. Great. I think the plot was better than the acting, honestly. Demi Moore, love her. I don't see it for her getting the Oscar, honestly. I don't think history is going to repeat itself in terms of Golden Globe translating into an Oscar. Not for her. Actor in a supporting role. Have a couple of options here. I'm actually going to go against tradition in what I was saying previously about The Brutalist not getting anything. I'm going to give it to Guy Pearce for this one, and we're going to move on from that category. Actress in a supporting role. This is going to be the second juiciest category for my biased self. Ariana Grande is in there for Wicked. Again, speaking back on the musical on Broadway and how it's in two halves. Glinda really shines in the first half of Wicked, so I do believe this is Ariana Grande's really only chance to get the Oscar is for the first Wicked movie and not for the one coming out this year for Good. So I would say it's going to be between Ariana Grande and Zoe Saldana. Zoe obviously got the Golden Globe. Is there a chance she'll get the Oscar? Absolutely. She did an excellent job. I could see her getting the Oscar for this, and I wouldn't be mad about it. I enjoyed the performance. I just think this is Ariana Grande's one chance to get it for Wicked, because Wicked for Good, I think she'll be nominated for a musical number, but not for acting, because they do have 2 original songs, one from her, one from Cynthia Erivo, in the next movie that they'll definitely be nominated for next year. So I would say for this one, it's really going to be probably Zoe Saldana if I had to give a real guess, but my biased guess would be Ariana Grande for Wicked. For writing adapted screenplay, for me, it's going to be between Sing Sing, Emilia Perez, probably A Complete Unknown. This actually could be the one A Complete Unknown actually gets the award for. I would prefer it go to Emilia Perez, but it's leaning more towards the award season really liking A Complete Unknown, so I think that's actually who's going to get the award, but we'll see. I have no idea. This is just my biased guessing, and we're playing a fun game here and see what actually happens. Writing for original screenplay, and I'm going to, again, go back on what I said earlier, because, like I said, the plot was better than the acting for The Substance, so I think it's going to be between The Substance and The Brutalist that's going to get writing original screenplay Oscar. I'd say The Substance. I'll say The Substance. Animated feature film. You all know I'm a Disney adult. I'm a Disney fanatic. Moana 2 is not on here, as you can see, for good reason, because it was horrible. But movies that are on here that I think really have a good shot, Inside Out 2, The Wild Robot. This is one of those rare years where an animated film outshined a Disney movie. I would say The Wild Robot was probably the better film overall in terms of a feeling, emotion, a plot. Inside Out was probably more enjoyable of a movie. Either one can win. I'll be happy. I'm a biased Disney adult. Would I prefer Inside Out 2 win? Sure. It was an amazing movie, but I think it's going to be Wild Robot. It's really gotten all the notoriety this award season, and it was a beautiful movie. I'm going to say The Wild Robot is going to win that one. Some other big categories, cinematography, I'm probably going to give that one. It's going to be a tie. Can you have a tie? Between Dune Part 2 and Nosferatu. Nosferatu review coming very soon, by the way, for my followers, people that want to follow. It's coming out probably tomorrow. Which was, cinematography-wise, that's what made the movie. That old school, just horror film feel, very Frankenstein, old Dracula. It was excellent. So between that and Dune Part 2, for me, it's got to be one of those two. Costume design. A lot of these next categories for me are going to be very biased and very easy because there aren't a lot of other films that are even close to the level of Wicked. I'm going to say costume design, Wicked. Let's move on. Film editing, Wicked. Let's move on. Makeup and hairstyling, Wicked. Let's continue to move on. Music, original score. It's actually very interesting that Wicked's in this category because it's not an original score. It's based on the musical Broadway. I do believe Wicked will shine in all the musical categories next season because there's actually 2 original songs in Wicked for Good. This season, I don't think it's going to win. It seemed like a slap in the face to the original. I think it's probably enough. I have my little rant on my Emilia Perez review that it's not really a musical. It's a movie with music. But I would say the music original score is probably going to go to Emilia Perez and not Wicked this time around. I think Wicked's moment's going to be next season for music. Music original song, this is a tough one. Usually there's a lot of really good options. I would say for this season, I'm not truly inspired really by any of the songs that are actually nominated. If I had to give it to one, and I'm actually very surprised the song from The Wild Robot's not in here, the one by Maren Morris. I actually really love that song. I would say I'd have to give it to, I don't know, I'm just guessing. It's going to be a song by Emilia Perez. If I had to pick one I liked better than the other, it's going to be Mi Camino. So I would say I would give it to that one. Some other things, visual effects, I'm gonna give to, you guessed it, Wicked. Sound, Wicked. I'm not biased, I swear. Production design, Wicked. I would say some of the big categories, some of the smaller categories, Wicked's gonna take a lot of those production and design categories because the movie was just flawless. The costumes, the music, the sound, the colors, the production was beautiful. Tell me what you think in the comments. Right around the corner. Let's see how wrong I was and how biased I was about a lot of these things. Or maybe I'll be spot on some. Who knows? Go Wicked.